Isolation is an invisible thread that weaves through every human life, regardless of who you are or where you come from. If you've found yourself searching for this video, you likely know the heavy hollow ache of feeling disconnected. At Looks Fine Inside, we believe that understanding our internal landscape is the first step toward healing. And while loneliness is a universal part of the human condition, letting it fester in the shadows can take a serious toll on your mental well-being. But what if the wall you feel behind isn't as solid as it seems? To help you bridge that gap, let's explore 6 psychologically grounded indicators that you actually have a stronger support system than your mind is letting you believe. First, consider the depth of your circle rather than the size of it. We often mistakenly equate popularity with belonging, but the real metric of social health is having 1 or 2 genuine anchors. If there is even a single person in your world who truly sees you and holds your trust, you are statistically ahead of the curve. This isn't just a comforting thought, it's backed by science. The famous Harvard study of adult development, which spanned over 8 decades, proved that the sheer volume of your social calendar doesn't determine your long-term joy. Instead, it is the caliber and intimacy of your closest bonds that truly sustain you. Secondly, think about the hands that reach out when you stumble. Our digital era obsesses over follower counts and superficial likes. Yet these metrics crumble the moment life gets difficult. True connection is measured in the emergency contact moments. If you can recall a time when a sibling, a neighbor, or a colleague stepped in to help you navigate a crisis or solve a complex problem, you aren't adrift. Knowing there are people who prioritize your well-being over social convenience is a clear sign that you are anchored in a community. Looks Fine Inside. Third, look at who is willing to offer you a compass. It's easy to stay silent because we fear being a burden or being judged for our struggles, but that silence is often self-imposed. There are likely voices in your life, perhaps a mentor, a relative, or a trusted counselor, who are waiting for the chance to provide a listening ear or a piece of seasoned advice. The barrier isn't a lack of support. It's often just the courage required to ask for it. Fourth, value the shared joy of your passions. Not every meaningful connection has to be a deep, tearful heart-to-heart. Sometimes the most therapeutic moments happen when we geek out over a favorite hobby or a specific film with someone who just gets it. Finding a person who mirrors your enthusiasm for a niche interest creates a powerful sense of tribal belonging. These lighter interactions are the building blocks of emotional intimacy, proving that you have a place where your voice is heard and your interests matter. Fifth, recognize the quiet pings of consistency. You might feel isolated because you aren't seeing people every day, or because the dynamics of your relationships have shifted over the years. However, distance doesn't equal indifference. That random text from a cousin, a monthly coffee date with an old coworker, or a scheduled family dinner are all proof of life in your social ecosystem. These regular check-ins serve as a safety net, reminding you that even when you feel out of sight, you are never truly out of mind for those who value you. Finally, understand that your selective nature is a strength, not a flaw. You might feel lonely because you don't have a massive entourage or a constant stream of social invites, but being protective of your inner circle is actually a healthy boundary. It is far better to be temporarily alone than to be surrounded by people who don't align with your values. By being careful about who you let in, you ensure that when you finally do lower your guard, the people standing there are worth the vulnerability. If these points resonate with you, It's a sign that the narrative of being totally alone might just be a trick of the mind. At looks fine inside, we know that loneliness isn't a monster to be ignored. It's a signal much like hunger or thirst. It's your psyche's way of asking for more meaningful engagement, or perhaps a shift in how you view your existing bonds. If this heavy feeling persists or becomes overwhelming, please remember that reaching out to a professional is a profound act of self-care. If this perspective helped shift your outlook, feel free to pass it along to someone else who might be struggling in silence. Subscribe to stay connected with us. And always remember that while things might just look fine on the surface, we're here to help you navigate everything going on underneath.